six of us, as in I have 4 sisters and 1 brother. Blood. But over the years, there was 22 kids in my family. Because my mother and father fostered kids all my life. You know, like we were living 4 and 5 in a bedroom. And we're not talking big rooms, we're talking 10 foot by 12 foot rooms.
Right.
But my mother and father opened their doors, and hopefully me and Sarah be in the financial position I'll be fit to do the same. Something I would absolutely love to do. And, you know, I do call every one of those foster kids my brothers and sisters. Every last one of them.
Yeah.
I was very proud of my parents for what they did. Like, they weren't the richest people in the world. They didn't have a huge house or anything. But they had an open door. I remember one of my friends had a very abusive father in school. And my father, being very, very similar to myself, went to the house, dragged the father out of the house, put him into his car and locked him in it, and then went in and packed the young fella's stuff up and landed back to our house one night at midnight with my friend, and just turned around and says he's going to live with us for a while. And that was it, and we never heard another word about it. That was just it, because he had an abusive father. That was the sort of my father. He hated the thought or the sight of kids getting abused. Don't get me wrong, he was a strict man, and he hit me a slap or two over the years, but it never ever done me any harm. It left me with good manners. It left me with great respect for others, and you know, especially these days, I think that children. Now, I don't mean beat. Now, I mean a slap. Kids don't get slapped enough. They get away with blue mortar now, and I can understand why. Because if you raise your hand to kids now, the first thing they say is, "I'm getting social services on to you." You know?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I work around a lot of children every day. See, I own an advertising agency. We do a lot of television advertising, and the market is very competitive, and I don't feel comfortable doing it full time. So, as a full time job, I work for the Board of Education. So I work in education, see, and we work with children. We have students, and I see so much in these students every day. I see a lot of good things. I can tell who was raised by responsible parents and loving parents, and I can see a lot of kids who are just absolutely spoiled rotten. You can't even get them to walk upright. They're so spoiled.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I was living up at home, played a lot of, I don't know whether you've ever seen Gaelic football in your life, Clyde, but I played a lot of it when I was younger. And the local club was trying to get younger fellas into management. You know, we've managed the underage teams. You start playing at under 8 around here, like football. There's 2 religions around here, Catholicism and football, and that's it.
I understand.
So, if you didn't play football, you were sort of outcast of the community. I know it's an awful way of saying it, but it was the truth. But so yeah, they were trying to get a couple of us younger lads into the management club. So me and a friend of mine says, right, we'll, a couple hours of a Sunday, a couple hours during the week. It was nothing major. Said, right, we'll commit to taking the under 12s, which we did. I had a lot of fun doing it. I done it for 2 years. But as you could say, you could see the kids that were, that were raised by stricter parents, and those that were spoiled. Because the spoiled kids, we used to have to hound them to get them to run a lap of the pitch, or to get them to line up when they should, or to get them to get onto the bus when they should. Whereas the ones that were raised by the stricter parents, you asked them to jump, they asked how high. And, it meant a big difference in that sort of situation.
It does. I get tickled, especially with young people, where if something becomes popular, like I remember when they first had a pair of sneakers that had LED lights around the soles.
Yes.
and I saw one pair one day in a hallway, and then within a day or two, half of them were wearing those. It looked like a Christmas tree running up and down the hallway.
Or
People tend to be a little like cattle sometimes.
cell phones. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, you know, what are you getting off Santa Claus this year? Oh, I'm getting the newest Samsung. Like, but your name, what do you need a cell phone for, or a mobile phone, whatever you want to call it?
know.
I was 17 when I got my first one, and that's because I was going out to work, and pretty much I needed one to call for my lift home every evening when I get out of the van, and that's pretty much what that phone got used for. Didn't get used for anything else. Well, maybe it was out on Saturday night and I met a young, good-looking thing. I might have asked her for her number. but apart from that, you know, yeah, I remember when I come home from the States that time, the first thing I did was went out and bought myself a cell phone. I didn't even have one in the States, which everybody was like, why have you not got a cell phone? I was like, sure, I don't need it. I'm working on a farm. What do I need the cell phone for? I get up at 6 in the morning, I work to 8 at night, and I go to bed. Where do I need the cell phone? What about calling your parents or letting them know? I says, well, I go into town every Saturday and I use the payphone. Bought myself a phone card and used the payphone and called home. It was cheaper anyway.
Right.
Although I will give the guy this that I live with. He always told me, anytime, he owned the ranch that I worked on, and I lived over his garage. He had like an 8-bedroom apartment over his garage, and he always said, if you need to ring home, or even if you just feel like calling home, or you're running short of money and you need food or anything, he says the door of the house is always open. You come on ahead in, and you get what you need, and you clean up after yourself, and you go on. And he sends me an email once a month to see him coming back. I haven't been in the States in 12 years, and I still get that email once a month. See when am I coming back? That was the sort of... he was a great guy. Really, really was.
You meet people like that. I know what you're saying. I met a fella who, he's in his 70s now, and I met him back about 25 years ago. He had fought in Vietnam and things like that, and he would tell me stories about being in the military and traveling, and you get a bond with certain people, and that bond can last a lifetime.
Absolutely. I hope mine does last a lifetime. I genuinely do, because I had such a bond with him when I was over there. Now, he had a lot of men working for him. He had, I think it was 60 or 70 men working for him, but none of them could speak to him and get away with the stuff that I could. You know, the rest were all employees. Me and him were mates. You know, that sort of way. No, he was very, very good to me now. He even give me... I said that I wasn't going to go home straight away after me and another guy was going to travel down south a bit. And he said, yeah, that's no problem. He says, when are you leaving? And I says, Saturday morning. The great Friday night at 9 o'clock, he come knock on the door. Me and my mate walked outside, and there was a car for us. Now, it wasn't an expensive car. It was maybe $2,000, maybe a little bit less. But, you know, we were looking at bus tickets. You know, we were just going to get the bus from here to there, and here to there, and here to there, and, you know, stop off in a few different places. And the bus tickets alone were going to cost us about $4,000 till we got to Vegas. No, there's a car. Take it with you.
Yeah.
What we done when we hit Vegas, we took it to a used car lot. We got $1,500 for it, and I sent him the money. I posted him the money, and then about 2 weeks after I landed home, I got a letter off him, and there was the $1,500 back again.
Oh my!
So that's the sort of guy he was. He was just amazing. So
yeah. You meet people like that. You do. I know 3 guys that just went to a workshop in Vegas last week. They just got back about 3 o'clock Sunday morning, and I was speaking with one of them yesterday. He's a very hyper type person, And I walked up to him. I said, "How's it going, Brown?" His name's Brown, and he just looked at me and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I had never seen him so laid back or easygoing. He's always extremely hyper. And I said, "What's the matter? Are you sick?" He said, "No, I just got back from Vegas like 3 hours ago. I've had no rest." And I said, "You need to go to Vegas more often."
WRT, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for the tweet out, man. Yeah, it's an amazing. Anybody, especially if you're from America, if you haven't been to Vegas, please go. It's an amazing. Even if you're not interested in gambling, just go. It's to see that city at night. We done a helicopter ride over the city at night. Wow, it was just absolutely incredible. Like, I'm afraid of heights, and it was still incredible.
I tell you another one out there I like to go to. I've been there a couple of times, and that's Reno, Nevada. The biggest little city in the world. They've got, you know how they've got the Circus Casino in Vegas? Well, they have one in Reno as well. They have quite a few casinos in Reno. And what's really cool about Reno is, it's true, it's a small city, but there's lots of fun. There is a strip with casinos, but there's a lot of good restaurants, and just no more than about an hour and a half drive is Lake Tahoe, which is absolutely one of the most beautiful places in the world. You're going to go up about 6,000 feet above sea level, up on top of that mountain, and there's a very large lake up there, and it's just the most beautiful blue water you'll ever see in your life.
I have seen pictures of Lake Tahoe, and I just thought to myself when I seen them, there must be some big trout in that lake.
Yeah. Well, my first time was a difficult experience. I was with a lady friend who's very familiar with that area, and we were laughing and joking as she was driving me up the mountain, and she forgot to stop and let me equalize because of the altitude difference. I'm not accustomed to it. So
Yeah.
she is, and unfortunately, my first time, because we drove straight up and didn't think, I had altitude sickness.
Oh,
And it lasted about 20 hours. I lost a day.
Jesus.
All you want to do is just lay in bed. You don't want to do nothing else.
I don't think we have any mountains high enough in Ireland for me to get to that point. We've got like the third tallest mountain or the fourth tallest mountain in Ireland's literally at my back door, and I have walked it a number of occasions. Just nice summer sunny day. We're off on school holidays. Let's just go to the top of the mountain. There's a lake actually up on top of it too. There's a witch's cave on it. But I don't know whether you ever heard of Finn McCool. Finn McCool was the giant. Finn McCool created Loch Ness. He was fighting with a giant in Scotland. So he turned around. The biggest lake in Northern Ireland is Loch Ness. So he turned around. He was standing on the Giant's Causeway. He turns around, he takes a scoop of earth up, and he goes to throw it over to Scotland, and it doesn't make it there, so it created the Isle of Man. It's a funny story. But anyhow, the witch fell out with Finn, and she could get her own back. She made friends with him again. Told him that hang on a minute, baby. Told him that if he went into the waters, the lake on top of the mountain, he would come out with eternal youth. So, being the twisted woman that she is, got him to go into the lake, and he come out an old crippled old man. Just one of the stories. So the witch's cave and the lake up there has great mythology about it, but it's a great area for mythology where I live.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
But what? For Alex? You gotta make that into a GIF. You have to.
Yeah.
Make that into a GIF and send it to me. I'll put it up in Discord if you can.